Well, good morning. Now we're getting into Matthew chapter 6, and where Jesus is dealing with righteousness and our worship, how we worship. How we worship is really an evidence of the truth of our heart. And he talks about our worship in three areas. First of all, in our giving, because giving is worship. Secondly, how we worship in praying. And thirdly, how we worship in fasting. I mean, these are three basic elements of our Christian life. Here we are. And Jesus says, listen, I want your righteousness to be on the inside and to be real, not just outward acts. And I'll tell you why. This is really important. It's easy to do outward acts and make us think that we're right with God. It's easy to do things on the outside and say, hey, I'm spiritual. It's so easy. It's our nature to do things on the outside to cover up things on the inside. And Jesus deals with it head on in Matthew 6. Look what he says. Take heed therefore that you do not your alms before men to be seen of them. Otherwise you have no reward. You have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. What does that mean? It means that when we do it just on the outside and there's no real relationship with Christ on the inside and with the Father, whatever we do has no effect whatsoever with God. It reminds me of the two that were praying. First of all, it says the Pharisee was thus praying with himself, saying, God, I thank you that I am not as this publican. But the publican was over in the corner. He was beating his chest and he'd say, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. You see, it was a hard thing. It was a hard thing. God looks at the heart. Man looks on the outward appearance. It's so easy to look spiritual. Go to church, pray, fast, do all these things, and people think you're a wonderful, spiritual, mature Christian. Listen, it's none of those things that make you spiritual. That's what it says here. Your Father doesn't even notice those things. Can you imagine? In fact, we're going to look at later, people are going to go into the presence of Jesus and say, did we not cast out demons and do many wondrous works in your name? Here, Jesus said, I never knew you. What are you talking about? You see, true spiritual righteousness is a relationship with Jesus Christ, knowing Him and letting Him live through us. So don't do your alms before men. And then he says, when you pray, he doesn't say if you pray, he says when you pray, don't be as the hypocrites who pray just outwardly in front of men, stand on the corner and be noticed. No. Pray in secret. Make it a matter of the heart. Well, you have a wonderful day today. We'll talk more about this next time. God bless you.